the minister stops him and says, hey, just in case you hadn't figured this out yet from the cover art and everything, that chip inside you is the mark of the beast.
And he stands up and goes, I know this sounds crazy, and I want him to be like, but I have a lot of plastic silverware in my butt right now. A lot. There is no plastic silverware anywhere on this plane but inside me. All right, have a good time throwing that bomb out the plane.
God-awful movie.
Welcome back to the GAMcast, where each week we sample another selection from Christian cinema because we were sick of watching movies recreationally. I'm your host, Noah Lugeons, and sitting to my immediate left is my good friend, Heath Enwright. Heath, welcome back.
Thanks, Noah. You know what movie would have been great if they had a much smaller budget?
What's that?
Left Behind with Nick Cage. That would have been excellent.
And sitting 81 miles to my right is my bad friend, Eli Bosnick. Eli, how are you this fine afternoon, sir?
I'm pretty fantastic. I don't know if you guys got this opportunity, but I actually watched 98 movies. Not one. There were 98 separate short films, all starring a forehead and the avatar of the god of Old Country Buffet. So it was a good time.
I had him down as CrossFit Seth Rogen, but yeah, we'll get there. So tell us, Heath, what will we be breaking down today?
We watched The Mark. It's the story of some guy who watched Left Behind with Kirk Cameron and said to himself, you know what movie would have been great if they had a much smaller budget? That one. We've made the same thing, but not so, ostentatious on the production end.
And Eli, we've already hinted at this, but how bad was this movie?
Well, if you love Air Force One, 12 Monkeys, Left Behind, Die Hard, Roadhouse, Buffets, Heart Disease, Eric Roberts, random characters who appear to deliver dialogue and then instantly die, cucks, you will hate this movie. You will hate this movie.
There's
it's a terrible
nothing
movie.
that would make you love this one.
This movie is the 5-year-old cooking version of a movie. Just like, I love chocolate chips. I love tacos. So I made chocolate chip tacos, and you got to be like, yum. Heath gets it.
Are we saying that's not? Thank you. I mean, sounds good. You've never. Why wouldn't you want a chocolate? Whatever. This is a bad example, but I get what you're saying.
I'm not having this fight on air.
Yeah. So, all right. So before we get into the movie itself, I want to talk a little bit about the movie poster. Right. I have never gotten more excited by a movie poster in any film that we've ever done. Would anyone care to describe the poster for the listeners at home?
It's a plane that appears to be flying out of a UPC code.
So the name of the movie again is The Mark, and that's of course the mark of the beast. But on the front of the poster is just a giant UPC symbol. Now, are you guys both familiar with the 666 UPC conspiracy?
Absolutely.
I learned recently that Hobby Lobby still won't use UPCs because they're fucking crazy.
Right, because of this exact dumb shit. So for those of you who aren't familiar with this one, maybe, you didn't grow up in Georgia. Congratulations on that. But I used to get these pamphlets all the time showing me how UPC symbols have a secret 666 in them because the symbol for 6 and 6 in the UPC, I think it's the UPCA code or whatever, is two thin lines with a white line to the left. And the guidelines right at the beginning, middle, and end are two thin lines without that other line to the left. So they look similar. It kind of looks like there's a 666 on all of them, which has a lot of Christians obviously freaking the fuck out. And it's sort of a staple of these weird Christian Satan apocalypse conspiracy theories, but I've never seen it in a film before. We've watched so many of these movies, and I've never really seen a direct reference to it in one of these movies. So I'm glad to know that they were doing their homework on InfoWars for this one.
Oh, yeah. Them and the President of the United States. Similar source material.
All right. So, sorry, that's just like a weird, thing I love, the bizarreness of these conspiracy theories. So sorry for the tangent. Is there anything you guys want to nominate this one for being the best at being the worst at?
Yeah, I'm going to say best worst, bad guys taking a timeout Just in the middle of the movie. After Act 2, the bad guys just stop doing their multi-million-dollar bad guy plot for no reason. But they don't leave the setting of the movie. They just like mill around doing nothing.
Like, well, fuck, fine. This movie changes what it is about and what the conflict is in the last 20 minutes a solid 5 times. A solid 5 times this movie's like, it's about a bomb. We can't go below the height. No, now I'm the bad guy. Shit. We've got to make these burritos in time for Quitas, quinceañera. Like the movie seems not to be aware of what it was about at any time. It's like Scott Adams talking. It's Scott Adams talking the movie.
Holy shit.
I want to nominate this for best worst fake gun noises. There are only a couple throughout the movie, but there is not a single gun noise in this movie that is not pew.
Yeah, right. Somebody just standing off screen going blam. Blam.
Blam.
Blam.
Blam. Pikachu.
I'm gonna go with in a lot of ways just best worst sound effects altogether. There's one in here that just honestly made me laugh until I was pale and my wife was worried about me. And that actually relates to my best worst, which is best worst surprise fat guy.
Oh my God, I can't. I literally could spend the next 100 episodes of our show just breaking down this guy's performance.
Yes!
How he appears in the movie, the things he does, the things he says. Like, I will never be okay because this movie was just like, yeah, that's the movie we're going to send out into the world. You don't think anyone will have? It's the greatest. It is the greatest. Because here's the thing, and I found this a lot with our show. Whenever I'm not looking forward to a movie, whenever I'm like, oh, here we go, another one of those, something like this happens and it brings me right back in again. And surprise fat guy was this for me. I don't want to spoil anything, but.
Well, just to give you a little context here, 2/3 of the way through this movie, in the middle of a fight scene, some gigantic sweaty fat guy just jumps into the movie. From that point on, for at least the next 15, 18 minutes, he is a main character of the movie, and then he disappears again.
I wouldn't say jumps.
Hustles?
He is the vertical. The vertical is 0, but he shows up.
Yes, thank you.
Shows up and instantly knows karate. I can't deal with it. We'll talk about it.
We'll ramp you up to that one. All right, well, the longer we spend on the intro, the longer before I can purge this dumbass movie from my brain. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dig into all the loosely stitched together action movie tropes that are The Mark. Hey, folks, are you an evil mastermind trying to control the world with microchips? Can't seem to find the help you need? Well, why not try ZipRecruiter.com? With ZipRecruiter, you can post your job to 100+ job sites with just one click.
I was relying on Soldier of Fortune magazine for years to find assassin, bodyguard, and spandex suit maker. But with ZipRecruiter, I see qualified candidate right away.
Then, their powerful technology efficiently matches the right people to your job, better than anyone else. Unlike other job sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you, it finds them. In fact, over 80% of jobs posted on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just 24 hours. No juggling emails or calls to the office. Simply screen, rate, and manage candidates all in one place with ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use dashboard.
After years of interviewing sidekicks with one eye, a hat made of razors, and a leg that's also a sword, ZipRecruiter made it easy to quickly go through and find the perfect number 2 in my mission to blow up the moon.
Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by businesses of all sizes to find the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, our listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/godawfulmovies.
I was tired of expensive ads just sitting there hoping for someone with uranium to answer my post. With ZipRecruiter, I posted for free and found someone fast.
That's ZipRecruiter.com/godawfulmovies. Not just for supervillains.
I'm Ben Carson.
Ben Carson.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Hi, did you find everything okay today?
Yep, all set.
Great. And will you be using cash or mark today?
Mark, please.
Fantastic. Just hold your hand over the sensor. No, sorry. Keep it. You have to keep it over the sensor, sir.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, sorry. Give me 1 second. I just gotta cancel. Okay, great. Hold it over the sensor.
just over. Okay. Can I move now or?
No. Sorry. Leave it on there. And is this credit or debit?
Mark pay?
Oh, we don't do Mark Pay.
What? I thought you said Mark was an option.
Yeah. No, the reader says Mark, but the reader only does credit or debit.
Oh, okay. Credit then, I guess.
Okay, great. And just enter your PIN on the pad there.
Well, no, I said credit.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
No, you can't move your hand.
How can I enter my PIN without moving my hand?
Sorry. Let me just cancel this and we'll start over.
This was totally not worth selling my soul. This is just a weird
Keep your hand still,
choice
sir.
for technology.
I got a forehead and this never happens.
And we're back for the breakdown, and this movie is going to start with Revelation 13:1. That's the behold the dragon stood at the shores. And I'm like, hell yeah, my kind of Christian movie, guys. Don't shy away from the crazy shit. I'm still waiting to see when a God's divine eyeball-covered sycophant monster is brought to the silver screen.
That's how it starts. Remember the multilingual kraken from the end of the Bible? Good. Us too. And movie start. That won't be related.
No, not really. No.
He's just on the plane. Oh, sir, you can't fit your tentacle in the overhead. You're going to have to put it in front of your chair. No hablo. I know you speak multiple languages, sir. All right? Don't do this.
So this will be, I think, the fastest fucking start we've ever gotten in a Christian movie, right? So within 90 seconds, there's a boat full of ninjas with machine guns. So we're going to start things off in Bangkok, and there are a couple of mercenaries on a couple of cargo containers.
And they're walking around like Koopa Troopas. They're like going back, stopping, going back. It's a weird setup for like security where each container gets one guy. They're like, no, we're going to have 3 on the front one and then like 1 behind that and leave the rest.
Yeah.
What do you mean the front one? Like stage front, stage front. We're going to guard stage front, obviously.
So, and this is where we're going to meet our main character. He's one of the soldiers that's guarding this setup here. And he jumps on the radio real quick early on to say, all right, everything's secure, but I just want to go on the record saying I'm a good guy and this is a bad guy thing. Damn it.
Oh, and can we talk about the looks of this main character?
Oh,
he
please.
looks like the guy on a CNN panel that's on the pro fucking your car side of the debate. All right, well, we've got an automotive guy from MIT and the main character of this movie. It feels good, damn it. They don't feel nothing. All right, well.
Yeah, he looks like Evil Universe Tom from Cogdis.
I mean, to be fair, Tom looks like Evil Universe Tom from Cogdis.
Yeah, he's good universe, Tom. Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So, yeah, he's wandering around and in the cargo container, apparently, there are bad guys preparing for evil chip surgery.
Yeah. Don't really get why that's happening there.
No, especially when we're going to learn in a moment that this company has a hospital in this town.
They do.
Right.
They do. It's true. And for some reason, the background noise during this operation is that plasma ball from the Science Museum. They've got like the yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, quick thing. Why do the security guards have elbow pads and knee pads? What's happening?
Yeah.
I thought they were going to start rollerblading through cones on top of the containers all of a sudden. Weird pick.
That's only when you get to the 3rd level that they got their
that would have been so exciting.
So, and now it's time for ninjas on a boat. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, a boat full of ninjas shows up, and there are explosions everywhere.
And let me just help people out who are like, hey, guys, guide me through the plot. Who are these ninjas? Who are they attacking? Everyone is on the same side and everyone is attacking each other. You can go fuck yourself. So there are ninjas, but they appear to be from the same company that will later be on its own side and attacking itself later in the movie.
Who the fuck even knows? Yeah. So we get a couple of explosions. At least 2 of them are the same explosion twice and not even from different angles. So that was a bit lazy, but hey, you know what? Blow some shit up. Why
Nowhere
not?
near as lazy as the shot they'll reuse for the rest of the movie. We'll get there. There's an airplane. Whatever. We'll get there. So at one point, this guy who's going to become main character, he's a security guard here. He jumps off his cargo container.
Oh my God.
And the ridiculous cut to his landing is amazing. He's supposed to like be, like parkour and like be fine and jump off the thing, but it's so awkward. It might as well cut to like Kerry Strug sticking the landing on the vault in 96 and he's fine. It's so bad.
Yeah, no, it was leap level parkour here. Cause like, were they unable to find a stuntman that could do that? Or did the stuntman break his legs when he landed here?
The stuntman did not stick the landing like Kerry Strug in 96.
Exactly. So yeah, we have the whole, can the doctor chip in time? And they need more time, damn it, with their test subject or the chip won't work. Now, apparently it's perfectly fine to just inject the fuck out of the first guy you see when you walk out. He doesn't have to have more time or anything. But yeah, so that's the plot of the movie. The guy who was standing guard was the last man standing, so he wound up with the evil chip in him.
After the gunfight that looks like a bachelor party took acid and went paintballing together. Makes no sense.
That sounds really fun. That sounds really fun.
Yeah, these guys looked like they were having fun. They were like, "Wee, gunfight!"
That sounds
so stupid.
That sounds better than poker in an Irish bar that you go to all the time.
Yeah.
Sounds really nice.
It's okay. The people who plan that don't listen to our shows.
Glad someone did that for them.
Eli's looking forward to his birthday too.
So yeah.
Which involves a gun.
It'll be a similar tone. And now we get the credits. Okay, we've had 3 explosions, a gunfight, and a boat full of ninjas. Now it's time for the credits. And this is going to be, the credits are going to come over news of a financial meltdown mixed with crazy Christian nonsense radio talk.
But it's like they're trying to do like a YouTube video takedown because it's like the stock market is crashing because there are less Christians now.
Yeah, right.
Because the Christians are not being Christian enough. That's the financial crisis of 2008 explained in this movie.
Yeah. No, the news is even saying that, like, there aren't very many Christians now, are there? And the finances are not good at the moment, so.
Hate to break it to the guys who made this movie. Barack Obama, the savior. Yeah. Probably not what they think.
So, yeah, so basically we get the whole damn apocalypse in the credits.
Mm-hmm.
And that's followed up by the last couple of things where it talks about, oh, and also a chip under your skin. It's the newest, it's the latest, it's the greatest. It's made by Avanti is the name of the company.
And why would that solve a global financial crisis?
No.
Why would credit cards being in your arm instead of your wallet change the housing crisis? What the fuck are they talking about?
The movie will never make any effort to explain that.
Well, you see, if you add up all the time people just wait at the pin machine with your card just sitting in there, and that's a whole new economy just there. Productivity skyrockets.
Yeah, no, okay, all right. No, that makes sense. But yeah, but we should point that out and kind of dwell on that at least for a second. Otherwise, it's going to confuse the listeners. Well, it's going to confuse the listeners one way or the other, but at least we should be upfront about that. This whole movie is about a chip that gets injected into this guy's arm that will solve all the world's problems. We will never know what that chip does or how it solves the world's problems. They'll sort of like make you think that maybe this guy got superpowers from it, but he didn't.
Oh,
nothing.
Right. Constantly. They constantly say throughout this movie, like, oh, what is this? Made me some kind of Superman? And Eric Roberts is always like, yep. And I'm like, really? Does Superman's face look like that? Does Superman's face look like he's trying to eat his way through a shellfish allergy? I'm just trying to figure.
Does Superman have the power of boop? Is that one of his powers?
Who the fuck knows? So, okay, so now we open the movie proper at Avanti headquarters. This is a location in Bangkok so secret that not even the movie knows where the fuck it is, right? Undisclosed location, Bangkok.
You just said Bangkok. It's fine.
So, yeah, but again, this is where our main character is going to wake up in a hospital that is owned by this corporation that has injected him with this chip, right?
I think that is the plot.
All right.
Yes.
Why would they not? I mean, in a big, well-lit building like this, you would see ninjas coming way earlier. I feel like this was the place, if you had this place available to you, to do the injection, right?
I don't know. Bangkok hospital, dirty storage container, hospital in Bangkok. For me, it's 50-50.
Well, you can't get there by boat, is what I'm saying. You can't get a boat of ninjas onto the 15th floor of this building.
This movie would have figured it out. Boats just flying in.
Yeah, right. Indiana Jones style from Temple of Doom. Yeah, all right.
One guy when the inflatable dinghies just bounces back off the window. Didn't think that through. Needed a heavier metal one. Damn it.
And all right, so as our main character is recovering, in walks Eric Roberts, just hungry for some scenery to chew.
So now we have to just recognize that Eric Roberts is in on the whole Christian thing, right? Like for a few years, at least on this show, I sort of thought to myself, maybe he just needs the work, but he's been in enough Christian movies now. We got to let him go. Well, he's theirs now.
I will say, if you look at his IMDb page, he's got 1,600 credits just for 2017. So there's a very Nick Cagey, I'll do anything for money thing going on here too. So it may not be that.
Oh, did he run out of drugs?
It might also be that.
Drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Never run out of drugs. The Noah Lugeons story.
So Eric Roberts is standing over the recovering soldier, and it's time for this soldier to have the first of many flashbacks. Or I'm sorry, first time of many that he will have the same flashback.
Exactly. And this one's to what appears to be a grinder date. Feels like you try to fuck an Asian guy if you're in Thailand. It's a white guy in this one. Whatever. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Racist.
Wait, no, that's positive. I'm saying if I went to Thailand, I would like to fuck an Asian guy.
It's the character that sought out a white guy in Thailand.
Okay, he's a racist. I'm not racist. Yeah, no. I like
it. No, you can always tell the
Asian
not racist by the
Thailand.
guys who constantly defend themselves against that accusation, even when it wasn't really made. That's
people
how you
level
can
it
tell.
all the time. Some people just have to come out and explain things.
Yeah, you come out ahead.
Exactly. So,
okay. But it's his brother. It turns out,
yeah, exactly.
It's not a grinder date. A lot of chemistry with his brother, though, which is weird.
And we learned this because they do and this is a movie thing, not just a Christian movie thing. They're like, let me tell you, little brother, who has been my brother since birth. And I just want to start doing that with people in my life so that movies make sense again. Just be like, oh, Heath, my podcast partner. What's going on, partner of podcasts?
Stop occasionally while we're out and sum up the plot, I'll
Here
just
we
stop
are
at
lunch.
Your role here is podcast partner. Perfect.
So his brother is here giving him his everything happens for a reason wisdom, but our main character has lost his faith because of the war, you see.
Ooh.
Now we will get this flashback again and again and again, and they won't add detail until the very end, but they'll add bullshit every time. But at this point, we cut that short so he can wake up breathing into a latex whoopee cushion for some reason.
I wrote in my notes, he has one of those airline bags attached to his oxygen mask. The bag may not inflate, or it gets all weird and puffy like this one. Don't freak out. This is really just for you to go to sleep while you die in this plane.
Yeah, there is a real thing where there would be a bag there, but there would also be a line of oxygen going into that bag. Otherwise, that would be really stupid, and you just immediately suffocate, I would imagine. I don't know.
He was hyperventilating when he came in. I don't know. Yeah, so
you got to swap out the bags very quickly. He breathes in, swap the bag. Breathe in, swap the bag.
So he wakes up to Eric Roberts. You could do worse. And this is the first time I really got a sense of the gravelly Batman voice that this actor had chosen to use.
Yep, pretty great.
And we learn this when he realizes that the chip was injected in him and asks Eric Roberts, so what am I, Superman? The first thing you would think when you had a thing injected in you, that it made you stronger.
All right, so I'm just going to give you this quick vitamin shot. So what am I, like Superman now? I can read minds? I could shit myself and no one will know? Well, you're shitting yourself.
I mean, second thing. Yeah. So can I. I mean, that's like everybody if you want, whatever. You commit.
Shit yourself. If you're listening to this podcast right now, shit yourself and see who notices.
I'll tell you who your real friends are.
Yeah. Who's the real fans of this show? We did one more episode than we promised you. Come on, you owe us.
And if you're on the subway, point at your ear and be like, God awful movies. Check it out.
Check it out.
Do a little ad for us. Appreciate it.
Did the podcast make you do that? Yeah, but you should listen. It's fun. It was these three guys. They just improvise. It's wacky.
So
no
Eric,
script.
So getting back on script, Eric Roberts needs him to go to the G20. He is now forever linked to this chip in a way that they won't even try. They won't even. No.
They try, but
I don't
fail miserably.
Pretty sure they pretty scientifically soundly explain what's going on with this chip later in the movie. I hate to argue here, but we're going to find out there's a lot of science behind this movie.
All right.
Some
We
real
have
fancy
handed out
words.
some participation trophies over here. I just want to let everyone know right away. So the super rich company that needs to put chips in arms in a fucking cargo container in Bangkok needs to get him to Germany. And other people are going to be after him. So their idea is to just go on a regular airplane, like a commercial flight. You know, they'll never expect that.
He says,
We hide in plain sight.
yeah, exactly. I feel like he's just making the whole thing dangerous just because he wanted to use that phrase. He was
It's
like, all right, man, like
plain
you said plain sight. Like I get it's not that clever. Can we just you're $1 million corp. Maybe just like we fly private. It's more comfortable.
Well,
they wouldn't know.
And I mean, the idea here is like, I could put the money in the bank, but they'd never expect me to put it on my front lawn. This is the only way in which you could fail. You just get a private jet. This is a company that can afford €500,000 for who the fuck knows. Anyway, yeah.
Also, just one other small thing in this hospital scene. They have one of those monitors in the background with Chad's blood pressure, and it is changing wildly from moment to moment in this scene. Like, first of all, I'm pretty sure the top number has to be higher than the bottom number no matter what. There's no, your blood can't go faster between heartbeats than during heartbeats. That would be an indication that you're in a terrible movie. Otherwise, yeah, that's not how it works.
Agree to disagree, Heath. Agree to disagree. State Farm can provide you some numbers to prove otherwise, but I don't want to get into it right now.
My systolic and diastolic are the same. So there you go. I don't
They match.
It's a lub swoosh dub. Lub swoosh dub.
It's just trickle.
I don't think so. I think it's quite the opposite, actually. So now it's time to meet the Antichrist. We know this right away because he's European.
Yep.
Right? I mean, you knew as soon as you saw the name of this movie was the mark. You're like, first European guy we meets the Antichrist.
Yep.
Jesus. So then he wants to go into his evil monologue. And the way he gets there is by asking how many languages there are in the world. And the other guy's like, man, I don't fucking know. Can't we just not do a monologue? And he goes, there's over 100 languages.
According to Google, there are 6,909 living languages, which is over 100, to be fair. That is a larger number than 100.
You know how many people there are in America? Thousands.
More than 7.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it got me wondering because that's like, obviously they weren't even willing to Google here. Or is it that they can't admit that there are 6,909 living languages in the world because that would mean that we'd have to have more than one new language per year and there are no new ones in anyone's living lifetime.
Oh.
Right? Like, so is that an apology? No, there's only 100 languages. No, there's Finnish. That's not real either.
Oh my God. Where is Ray Comfort's movie?
African?
It's all Chinese. Well, that's a kind of Chinese, isn't it? He's from Sudan. Yeah. Sudan. Isn't that a Toyota car? You're trying to figure me out. No. Way ahead of you.
Oh, and also, we all have notes about the green screening here?
Oh, so rough.
I'm assuming the South Park backgrounds weren't available, and that's why they went with the green screen.
Yeah, they're standing on a balcony in front of Sim City, apparently.
The backdrop might as well get painted during the scene, like it's a slam poetry event, like a 5-year-old comes on with watercolors and is like, oh, finish this while we're doing it.
So he's monologuing about how there's too many languages and too many ways of saying the same thing. And how the religious people are all saying nonsense like the rapture, and how he wants to be the antichrist when he grows up.
Oh, and this dialogue is so clunky. No, I know you already mentioned it's so clunky. Heath should trade his car in for it. He should just like lumber. If this dialogue started to smoke halfway through and Heath just got out of the Antichrist's head and was like, it's probably fine, I'll call AAA.
So yeah, and to be fair, the bad guy that he's talking to, who will be the main bad guy for the rest of this movie, who will never be given a name until the credits, by the way. This guy, to his credit, gives as much of a fuck about this monologue as us, right? Because he's like, look, I don't really care about all this shit. Can you just give me like a job description and I can go?
He also asks for 500,000 euros in operating costs.
What?
500,000 euros in operating costs. That's not his fee. That's his operating costs. He's like, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sandwich it between 5 other jumbo jets. And then I'm just going to make all those jets fly into Eminem's swimming pool.
Yeah. And so he's like, okay, well, here's your payment. There's a bizarrely hot assistant that is incredibly quiet, so they don't have to pay her.
What the Brazzers MILF secretary? Her entire job's to like hand him the Mark flash drive thingy, and that's it.
I guess, yeah.
Like it seemed like she was about to teach her stepdaughter how to suck a dick, but she hands him the thing. That's it.
I too was hoping.
Same set, different cameras. I get it.
Right, yeah, she was just already there, and they're like, if you want to stick around, you don't have to.
You guys are using the set. We're using the set. If you're in under 5, we can throw you $20. Our craft services has wafers.
So, okay, now we head to the airport. This is the Bangkok International Airport, where the evil bad guys can set their plan in motion.
2012 airports, just a guy walking through, and the lady's like, oh, hold up a second. Wave. Yeah, you're good.
Were they different in 2012?
Yeah, way different.
And it felt like it was
a better time.
Felt like it was a little bit before that because he's reading a physical newspaper.
Yeah, what?
And he's got it all the way out. Like, fold that shit into eighths like a decent fucking human being. God damn. Or get a Kindle like a person from the present or 2012. What are you doing?
Also, okay, so Soldier Boy's sitting there waiting on his flight. And the stewardess comes up to flirt with him. They know each other from, the past.
I guess, yeah.
This is how subtle this is. They flirt for a second. She goes over to her other stewardess friend, and the other stewardess friend is like, he is cute. And I'm like, really? Is he? Or does he look like spousal abuse, Mr. Potato Head?
Yeah.
What is he? Is that what we want to say?
There's a few steroids away from a wrestler, maybe. Yeah. And also, the bad guy sitting behind him, like, glaring at him the whole time. I'm like, yeah, I feel like you'd want to be on a no glare policy at this point.
And just in general, there's a lot of really fucking obvious bad guys. The TSA in Thailand, they need to notice obvious evil guy a little better. And throughout the movie, this will be key because they're going to be on the plane too. Seems like anyone with like a black sport coat and over a black turtleneck, they got a briefcase that says bad motherfucker. Maybe do a random check and let Noah go through,
Okay, Sam Harris. All right. It's fine. We get it. You're a racist.
So now we're going to cut into the airplane where virtually the rest of this movie is going to take place. And the way we establish that they're in an airplane, even though we're looking at that, is with the captain announcement where he basically says, welcome to the air. There'll be 12 hours to resolve the plot. Thank you.
Oh, God. And look at what first class used to look like.
Is that real?
No.
It's like fucking Game of Thrones seating in this place. It's insane.
There's 3 chairs in first class, and there's a bar in the center of there's a stripper pole. I would cut the head off my firstborn daughter with a paper cutter to fly like that. I scooped myself in between Heath and another Heath for 95 hours on a JetBlue flight, and it's the best way you can fly. I would kill 3 firstborn sons and eat them to fly like that again.
Oh, you guys,
so beautiful.
You need to fly Emirates, guys. That's what this was. Anyway, yeah. So, but yeah,
we're flying Emirates from now on. That's the thing.
We're only flying
our
the
next
Saudi
show,
Arabia and
Dubai.
Australia.
That's
yeah,
right.
Exactly.
God awful movies, Dubai.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll let you do that whole killing the firstborns over there too. You know, you just,
absolutely, as long as it turns out gay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was going to be a cocksucker.
Look at his little wrists.
Jesus Christ.
Little baby wrists flopping around.
Yeah, that's better.
Noah and Heath will not let me introduce my character, Gay Baby, into the show, but let me say Gay Baby would be the next Carl the Puckapecacorn. So you're missing out at home, just so you know.
So anyway, back to the script. We also learn here that the co-pilot, Ted, is
cuck!
Yeah, he's a very hateable character. He is about to propose to his stewardess girlfriend. Boy, I hope he doesn't die or anything.
Ugh, and Ted is he is the Tina of this movie. You feel free to just scream at Ted he's just droopy dog, just like, oh, I can't wait to get married. I hope she lets me see my penis on Christmas. I fucking hate this character so much.
And we get to see his engagement ring for a second. Dow's in there looking at it. She does not do well pretending she likes the engagement ring. She's like, yeah. No, yeah, no.
Big is
no, it's great. It's good size.
Good.
No.
Yeah.
That's nice. Zales, huh? Zales?
Yeah.
That's good.
How did
you got
you
a
know?
pretzel and a bond of gold to wed someone to you forever. That's nice.
You guys are appropriate, even amounts of attractiveness. This will do fine.
We'll get there. So later that very same flight, our main character is getting a drink. His name is Chad, by the way. I have him as Soldier Boy through the whole thing because they barely ever give you his name. But he's in the back having a drink, and the bad guys are all mobilizing at this moment, right? The 15 bad guys that are on this flight all stand up at the same time and start walking the same way in unison.
Like, they're either going to go fuck in the bathroom or they're going to do a hijacking flash mob
Like,
of some sort.
obviously.
That'd be fun, a dance. They started doing a musical number. A hijacking dance.
I got a feeling, slit someone's throat.
Also, how the fuck do you book 18 people on the same plane? That seems like it'd be crazy difficult to do.
It is crazy difficult.
Yeah. So, all
I feel
right.
like they got really easy TSA pre-checked. Seems like that's not a good security measure.
Well, they're all
Don't
white.
tell.
So now, while that's going on, we're getting it cross-cut with the main character. Some reporter chick comes up to flirt with him, right? She's like, I see you're the main character here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you mean Shirley Holmes, the psychic reporter? This character, who I just have in my notes as Discount Monica, walks over and she's like, so you and Eric Roberts are obviously together and you're smuggling a microchip. And he's like, no.
Yeah, so while we're learning that, while they're doing that, the bad guys have now began to climb through the cavernous, empty compartments that airplanes have.
This movie imagines airplanes to have, I would say, 7 extra full floors of space.
Yeah, that's not used for cargo or anything.
Yep. Just like tunnels.
Yeah.
They're grabbing candlesticks. Bookcases are spinning around. It's like Haunted Mansion Airlines. The whole plane is fucking enormous. It's ridiculous. It's impossibly large, this airplane.
Yeah. So, yeah, and the bad guy, I love to the main bad guy says to the guy crawling through the tunnel, he's like, you have 5 minutes because this is getting crazy fucking boring. It's been a while since those explosions. And just to keep us from getting interested in any of this, of course, we have to go back to the expositing with the journalist conversation here and there.
Right. And the journalist is like, well, you work for Avanti, don't you? And he's like, wow, this is lazy writing. And she's like, no. He's got a nice watch. He's literally the only person in the world who would have a nice watch. And we see the bad guys. We cut to the bad guys, and they're like getting all their 2012 cutting edge technology together, which involves foldable machine guns, like origami machine guns that start out like the size of a Rubik's cube and end up as like M16s, and Heath's cell phone.
Yes.
I have a very nice cell phone. I don't get this way.
It's great. He can call you from his computer.
Project Fi. It's very good service.
So
Everybody check it out.
Him and 4 other guys who are drug dealers.
Not a slave to the big 3 or whatever.
So meanwhile,
wake up, sheeple.
Meanwhile, hometown pilot and hometown co-pilot are up there discussing all the things they have to live for.
And there's this crazy moment. I don't know why they left it in the movie. He's like, so, how'd you get engaged? And he was like, I fucked my wife in the back of the car. And she was like, you better put a ring on it because I felt the baby crawl up a tube. And he's like, fun.
Yeah, Heath and I both have in our notes, the pilot proposed somewhere very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
the back of a Volkswagen.
Literally, they say that.
Yeah.
Also, small thing, according to the cockpit display, they're flying at 200 feet right now. Seems low. Seems low. The altitude's actually going to matter later. Apparently not now.
Knocking over buildings and billboards.
We're rollerblading. Yeah, we're just a rollerblading, guys. It was a jump. Yeah, and also, this is so weird because, like, generally, obviously the special effects are terrible, the CGI is terrible, but generally it's a fairly well-made movie. The director seems to know where the camera's supposed to go, etc. But whenever it's Ted talking, the audio is fucking awful. He's like way quieter than everybody else, or he's clipping like crazy. That was driving me fucking nuts.
Because Ted's a cuck, and we hate Ted.
That must be it.
Everyone on set hated Ted, too.
That could be it. Yeah, the people with the boom were just constantly whacking him with it.
He's watching the dailies, and he's like, hey, it sounds a little different when I tell. Shut the fuck up. Do you guys do we have to really shoot me later in the movie? Yes.
It's like, normally you use blood packets? No.
We're all out.
All right, so now, meanwhile, with this boring-ass conversation between the main character and the reporter chick, she's explaining that this is, like, obviously all the stuff going on Fox News, even today, is obviously the apocalypse happening. And she justifies this by saying, it looks like the wealthy are going to grab all the power.
Didn't they already have?
I did. When did you just wake up from?
Don't be a dick. Yes, whatever. More. They're getting more. We're going to get one bank, one currency, and one leader.
Yeah.
Again, not sure how that doesn't make none of this makes any sense. It's the Bible thing. It's the Revelation thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, and he picks up on that quick because he's like, "Are we talking about Satan? Like, who the fuck would answer like that?"
To which she responds like, "Don't talk about Satan." Okay, it's like you brought up her ex. She's just like, "I don't want to get into it with him." All right, just like, I've moved on. He's moved on. I blocked him on Facebook, and it's better for both of us.
Yeah, he's like supposed to be the atheist at this point. And he's like, "Oh, do you mean Satan? Is that what you're fucking talking about?" And she did mean Satan.
Yeah. No.
I wanted him to pretend like someone waved at him at this empty bar and just like turn around and walk away. By the way, they're in this, again, the airplane is impossible. They're in like a German beer garden bar somewhere in this airplane. It's enormous.
That double-decker Airbus that they have now has that exact setup, I do believe.
We are flying this
with
plane.
Like cafeteria tables going for miles. It's ridiculous.
Heath in the background chugging and talking to the help. Hey man, you wash the toilets. What's up with you? Come sit with us. We're friends now. I'm gross.
You're gross, dude. You're gross. So, but now her response.
I'm nice to people. I don't understand this one either.
I don't get that one. I get the one about your phone, but
talk to the help. That's why they're the help. We pay them not to talk to us.
Jesus Christ.
Part of the pay is you don't talk to the normals.
I don't get why anyone still gives us money since Eli came on the show.
Give me a Noah money. You don't have to give Eli money. You just send us direct money if you want.
Apparently he can't be trusted with it. Yeah, but I love too that, like, basically her reaction to his, like, are you talking about Satan, is, so you have read the Bible. What? Because he knows about Satan?
And this is where we get the scene of the bad guys passing each other a gun in a newspaper.
Yeah. What?
So unnecessary. Like, dude, just pass me the weapon. We're using the newspapers. We said we would pass them. We're not even, we're in the back. We're in like an impossibly hidden vault of this airplane. Nobody can see. We're going to use the newspapers throughout.
Also, do they have a dumbwaiter to the cargo area on airplanes? I don't feel like this.
Maybe they do, but for security, maybe one that doesn't fit people would be a good idea. Just that fits a little bit less than a person.
Agree to disagree. Just me on an Emirates flight. Wee! 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 Get you anything from down there? Eli, get out. Seriously, they're calling the cops. Wee! I'm like Ben Carson. Wee! Wee!
So now everybody's asleep on the plane. And the stewardess is coming by with a drink service. And this is so fucking funny because, like, clearly everyone's trying to sleep. And she just turns to the next person and is like, how about some coffee? What do you think?
Yeah, she went on to work for JetBlue. Shaking me awake. Do you want some blue potato chips? No. I want to sleep away the memory of the 9 babies on this plane. Thank you.
I'll have his
Thank
blue
you.
potato chips. Thank you.
I'm watching Cops.
He was, too.
You watched a Cops marathon. Like 7-hour flight.
Straight out. And I would not leave Heath alone. Every time I watched a poor person get hurt, I would shake him and be like, dude, you got to turn to Cops. You got to watch. You got to watch.
This is an actual true story.
That lady's our mom's age. See what drug addiction did to her? They're arresting her for having a problem. Come on, get in here. Oh, she's running away because she's frightened. Get her. Oh, they always get her because there's more of them.
The tackles are fun. Yeah, you got to admit.
So at the same time, by the way, we should point out that this is the second time that we get Soldier Boy doing his flashback thing. But now he's just flashing back to things that have already happened in the movie.
Yeah, he's just flashing back to the movie.
We're 23 minutes in. Yeah, they were sure we were coming in after a commercial. They're like, really? You stuck around even after that open? Huh?
You mean this isn't already on TBS? All right, fine, if you say so. I guess.
So now this is where Dow, who is the stewardess he was flirting with earlier, the main character, this is where Dow catches the stewardess and the co-pilot making out because apparently he already proposed to her on the plane. That's pretty awful.
An even more uncomfortable place on a lot of planes, not this one.
No. And just to reinforce what a bitch this stewardess is, she announces to the sleeping passengers on the red-eye flight over the intercom that the co-pilot and the stewardess are engaged. Like, anyone gives a fuck.
She teases them. She's like, oh, I'm going to tell him. And they're like, no, don't. She's like, okay, right. We're 10,000 feet in the air. And he's like, stop making it on the podcast. People will know. My mom listens. And it's great. It's a fun joke. And I think we all agree that stewardess was hilarious.
Yeah.
And you should tweet and Facebook people.
And now the engagement thing's done. Cool. That joke is done. Good.
They're registered at bed.
Don't tweet me.
Wait, it done? What did
God
she say?
damn it. It never started. Jesus Christ. Nothing Eli says is true. Everybody needs to. God damn it. I don't like using Twitter.
So meanwhile,
I don't like phone calls, Facebook. Don't contact me.
He doesn't
about
like
this.
the people in his life.
To sit in a small room.
Or a big one, but don't bother me in whatever size room I'm in. God damn it.
Meanwhile, speaking of small rooms, we have we cut to the Asian bad guy who, yes, will know karate later, sneaking through one of the many Bruce Willis tunnels in this plane.
It's an enormous air duct. Again, so much space on this airplane. Like, I wanted him to just like stand up and start walking in the duct, doing big kicks. There's like a pool table. It's so large.
Yeah. God, Jesus. Like, and again, if they're not trying to transform this plane into a ninja robot mid-flight, they are doing too many fucking steps here.
Optimus Prime just turns to Bumblebee. I swear to God, I've got like an Asian guy in me. Ooh, I do not feel good.
So we cut back to Soldier Guy. He's walking back from the bar when all of a sudden the co-pilot guy hugs him. Just a complete stranger grabs him, hugs him, says, I just got engaged. That is punch in the nose crazy.
Yeah, you're not allowed to physically violate someone else's space unless you enjoy their podcast. Everyone knows that.
Yes, yeah. I don't
And
like
he goes,
hugs.
I'd give you a cigar, but it's a non-smoking flight. And I swear to God, this wasn't scripted. The actor's just like, cigars are for babies. That's not the thing. And he's like, oh, all right.
The writer's not super good, though. It's not my fault, man.
At which point we do the least delicate introduction of the second least delicate introduction of a character in this movie, where the minister rises up in between the two characters and he's like, hey, I'm a minister. You want to get married? And I loved that so much. I really wanted that character to do that no matter what. Just like they wink at each other across the bar. Minister pops up. Hey, and I couldn't notice a little bit of chemistry. I'm a minister. You guys want to, if I get 100 before the end of the week, I don't have to get breast implants. Come on, people. Let's get some marriage going. I have a terrible gambling problem. Who will get married? I can renew vows. That counts. Come on.
So once they meet him, Soldier Boy goes into the bathroom where he starts flashing back to the flashbacks from earlier in the movie.
Brave
That's new. And it's a flashback to his brother going, blessed are the Jesus, 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 Jesus. And him saying, I've been to war. There's no God.
Well, not just that. He's like, I saw a 12-year-old girl take a bullet. And he's like, hey, man, that 12-year-old died so that you could live. And now I had a whole other storyline in my head where a 12-year-old's just like, and just jumps over. Oh, she was right. She did love me a long time. I mean, that's
so
love.
Fucked up. Yeah, we get the stupid problem of evil thing here. And, and the like Christian brother's like, oh, shit. Yeah, okay. 12-year-old got shot. That's a hard one. I got this. She got shot so I could be an over 5. Stupid. No, that's stupid. I got it. She got shot in the face so you could have a good redemption plot later in a movie.
Because omnipotence isn't what it used to be. This is the deity that stopped the sun at Joshua's command. And he's like, oh, fuck, a bullet. Stick an innocent kid in front of it. I got plans for him.
Yeah.
Just can't. Yeah.
No third solution.
No. So, all right. So main bad guy is about to enact his plan finally. Jesus Christ. So he goes back to get the gun from the gun hiding part of the plane.
The extremely convenient dumbwaiter that does nothing but help hijackers on airplanes.
Apparently.
Exactly.
And just then, because this writer was thinking about it, y'all, the co-pilot's about to go into the cockpit, and he turns around and he goes, oh, I was supposed to get a ginger ale. I'll go back to the back of the plane, and turns around.
That's why he didn't show up in this moment, because the script nailed it. Like we were going to be like, where the fuck's the co-pilot? He was just walking. He was going to get a ginger ale. This movie makes no sense. No, they fixed it.
And by the way, apparently this 93-step plan, the only thing that it took to like make them completely change everything was, oh, fuck, the co-pilot's going back out for ginger ale. God damn it. Because they're like, oh, change your plans, guys.
Well, it's a change of plans because as he's reaching in to get his gun, the stewardess, who's just been engaged, she walks in on him and she's like, sir, what are you looking for? And we're going to learn later in the movie, he takes this moment to murder her.
Yeah.
He couldn't have been like, where are the blue potato chips? He just murders her. And that's why the plan changes. He's like, sorry, I murdered early, guys. I'm sorry. This is on me. I couldn't possibly think of anything to say except just getting my gun and then silently murder a woman 30 inches from someone's sleeping face.
Like I said, the writer was really thinking this through.
Just Noah's in the seat in front of them hearing her get murdered. At least it's not a baby.
Would be better. That would be better. So, yeah, and then it's time for them to activate the radio jammer from the Bruce Willis hatch with the Asian guy who A, knows karate, and B, is the tech master computer genius, and C, probably has a small penis, because otherwise they would have run out of stereotypes for this character.
Yeah.
It's just at one point, he's driving down the hallways of the plane. He keeps crashing. Oh! All right, we got it. All 4.
And by the way, to jam the entire radio system of an airplane, you take a computery looking box and you smush it against any other computery looking box anywhere in an airplane. And that's how it works.
It matters how you smush, but yes, that's.
I mean, just play some Words with Friends. Same effect, right? You turn off airplane mode, fucks the whole airplane.
Apparently, that's what they'll have us believe anyway. Yeah. So the radio goes out, and now the pilot's kind of freaking out. He calls for the co-pilot to get back here, ginger ale or no. At the same time, Eric Roberts notices that the main bad guy is talking to himself, saying mean bad guy cliches, and says, maybe something's weird here.
Right. So he goes to the air marshal and he's like, hey, there's a bad guy up there very clearly enacting a plan. He's got an earpiece the size of studio headphones hanging off the side of his head. Do you want to do anything about that? And the guy's like, yeah, sure, I'll check it out. I won't get stabbed in the heart right away.
Promise.
Excuse me, sir, did you say mwahaha into a Secret Service earpiece? No.
And stab.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to point out, this is where they take over the plane, and this is 2012. There is literally no way you have a cooperative hostage audience on a plane at this point in time.
No.
All right, there's 800 people in this plane. 3 European guys have foldable machine guns. I sneezed on the flight to Seattle. A flight attendant shot me in the head 3 times.
And everybody else went, well, he did look a little suspicious. He was Jewish. I think he was Jewish.
He wouldn't stop watching Cops.
So then they shoot, the co-pilot's about to get into the cockpit at this point. Main bad guy gets up, shoots at both the pilot and the co-pilot.
How is that part of the plan to shoot the pilots on an airplane you're flying in?
Seems like a bad plan. I don't know. So now it's time for him to try to get into the cockpit for reasons that will never be made clear, right? He never needs in the cockpit.
And this is so good. So his thing is, look, he's got the co-pilot outside. He's going to torture him, try and get the pilot to open the door. So he kicks the co-pilot, Ted, who we hate, in the thigh where he shot him. And he's like, and he immediately goes, stop being a whiner, which is a weird thing to say with someone you're torturing, right?
Yeah.
When you're torturing someone to get someone inside a door to open it, I feel like you don't be like, ugh, weird. Cut it out.
Yeah, the screams
Trying to
help.
talk.
They're in your best interest here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he goes you're not going to die. Gunshots are never fatal in movies unless you're a bad guy, in which case they always pretty much are. And so he says, I'm going to torture this guy. No, I'm going to blow up the door. No, I'm going to, you know what? I'm just going to throw everything against the wall and eventually you'll open the cockpit door, I feel like.
Right. So his thing is, again, I have a bomb and I'm going to blow open the cockpit door because, it's one of those fronty explosions.
Yeah. Can you do a controlled demolition on an airplane? Is that a smart move?
Well,
ever?
Not with 4 1.25-pound sticks of C4.
That seems excessive.
That's what they're using. 4 of the 11, the standard 11-inch C4 butter sticks.
But front C4 apparently.
Well, yeah, they don't
back
tamp it.
The back's just flour. Yeah.
There's a way to do that, but yes, it would require a much, much smaller amount of explosive.
Oh, you mean not a pallet of C4?
No.
Not a Play-Doh Playhouse worth of seafloor?
Also, this is where we learn that the pilot was also shot. This will never matter in the movie.
Nope. The movie will stop being about this in a minute, so you can go fuck yourself, but so can we. If it makes you feel any better, so can we.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, the bad guys have checked the whole plane, and damn it, they can't find the guy who has the thing that they came to find. Where could he be? Well, he apparently snuck from the trap door that airplanes have in their bathrooms down into the cavernous under dungeon of the airplane. Did he go through the toilet? Is that why I don't.
He flushes himself down the toilet and just appears on the guy's shoulders like international gorillas, just like, yeah, there you go.
2 flushes. I learned it in the XXX movie.
Yeah. And this is where our main character and the Asian guy get into the boringest, rolliest, punchiest fight ever.
Well, to not involve David A.R.Y., yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It felt like he was there. Like my eye put him into the picture a little bit with little David Arquette rolling around.
You could see him standing off screen going, go, under, oh, yeah.
And at first they don't do karate, and I was like, oh, that's weird. They didn't take this opportunity to be racist, but then they do some karate.
Then they do.
They totally do some karate.
Okay, is that racist that Asian people know karate? Again, that's like a positive thing, knowing karate.
Stereotypes in general, positive or negative, tend to be racist. Yeah. So, well, if they're, determined by race.
Well, it's anti like white people, and I'm allowed to say that. We don't know karate as well, right?
Yeah, it's a compliment.
It's like saying the N-word. It's the same thing.
We're allowed to do it.
It is like that, I guess.
We take classes in it at the local Y.
Apparently that's a thing. Yeah. So we get this fight. And by the way, this is like, and we've seen this in a lot of these movies, this is the one shot per cut type of fight choreography.
At one point, the Asian guy has a knife and he's literally doing the Jim Carrey sketch from In Living Color. They're like, the straight up and down knife stab.
Yeah. Well, and we get the whole like grabbing the knife, unstabbing trope. Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
Jesus. It's so bad.
Also, quick thing. There's a box in this cargo area that's labeled 3.8 liters of Fukushima. Weird thing to be back there.
Yes.
Kind of seems dangerous.
Wait. Or maybe it's just some dirt. Yeah. So at the same time, the captain is talking to the bad guy so that we don't have to dwell on how bad the fight choreography is.
Yep.
So we cut to that where he's like, the captain's like, I'm not flying this plane into no building. The guy's like, dude, I'm white. This is an Australian. What the fuck are you thinking? This wrong accent for that.
Right. He's like, oh, all right. Yeah. If you just want to take the plane. Sorry, I forgot. Post 2001 plane taking overs thing.
Nervous.
Way less adorable.
And of course, he's like, this is where he's where the bad guy's like, now, do what we say. I don't want to kill anyone else. And at that point, they drop the air marshal and the fiance, like in sight. And apparently the two of them are in a warm embrace.
Yeah, that was weird way they fell.
He hugged them. Like he was like, I killed both these people, but you know what? Let's have some fun with it. I'll like pose them together. So when I reveal them,
So why?
Everyone will be like, what were they doing? But no, I killed them both separately. I like to have fun. I'm a terrorist, but I have fun. I keep it fun.
And we see her ring, her like arm over the guy, so we see her ring. So that's how we know it's her. I wanted the co-pilot to crawl over and be like, so sad that my fiance's dead. I guess I'll just take back this diamond. So tragic.
Oh my gosh! 1 second, I just got to reach in her purse and get the receipt. Excellent. And let me just delete some pictures off her phone.
No, I didn't want to ask her. It's just some guy I do a podcast with just kept making it. It got really awkward. So
exactly. And then eventually I realized that it was the right time. And I asked her live on air.
Hello, Zales. It's the 91st day. Can I talk to a manager real quick?
So yeah. All right. So at this point, the bad guy, the Asian guy at the bottom of the plane, beats the soldier guy and calls in and he's like, hey, I found the guy we were looking for and I just beat him unconscious. You want me to do something with him or something? And they're like, no, just, kind of keep an eye on him here and there. Okay. Yep. I feel like I should tie him up. No, don't worry about it.
No, don't worry. He'll stay asleep for literally the rest of this movie.
Yeah, they seem to think so. Yeah, but then he wakes up and then he wins the same one hit per cut type of fight.
He trips him and the Asian guy hits his head and then he's asleep for the rest of the movie.
Yep. This is the last we'll see of this character.
Yep.
Chad knocks him out with a shin kick. Knocks him unconscious with a shin kick to end that fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's where we went with it. That's where the writer ended. So, yeah, and also at the same time, the co-pilot is talking to the pilot on the little phone that they have. And he says he wants to give him a subtle code to tell him to maybe bank the airplane in one direction or another so that, like he'll get a tactical advantage in the fight with the guy with the gun. And his code is, I think it's time to shake it up a bit, if you know what I mean.
That's not code language.
No!
We all know what you mean.
Because bad guys hate gravity. He might as well have spelled it in front of him. I think it's probably time for you to SHAKE the PLAIN.
I was wondering if you were going to get that.
Maybe Akshay, the errorist haze. You know what I'm saying? Pilot pay. Well, you could say pilot. Well, all right. It's
yeah, but the pilot shakes it up a bit, which, of course, when a plane moves, the bad guy stumbles more than the good guys in real life. So that's why this makes sense.
And it doesn't work, though. Like, he just gets his gun back, and we're back where we were before this happened in the movie.
Yeah. Well, right. Yeah, he gets an advantage for a second, but then another bad guy shows up and grabs the gun and is like, there's also that. He's like, yeah, fuck, I didn't think about that.
At which point, the bad guy, the main bad guy's like, all right, well, now I'm mad. I didn't realize you were all going to be a bunch of bitches about this. At which point, he instructs his henchmen to, like, calm everyone down, which they do by wandering through the cabin, pointing guns at people and screaming at them.
Yeah, well, and to make it worse, he gets on the radio and he's like, all right, stay calm, everyone. Also, if the pilot does anything, I'll kill you randomly. So, that should calm you down.
And there's this great moment right after that. He's like, I'll kill you randomly, where they're running through and they're like, oh, stay down, stay down. And one extra, if you don't watch this movie, I'll understand. It's on YouTube. One extra keeps screaming way longer than he's supposed to, because it's like, stay down, stay down. And one guy in the back is just like, for like 6 solid seconds after everyone else in the scene has gone quiet. It's phenomenal.
So, all right. So now this is where the main bad guy starts to realize that maybe the super soldier guy has woken up and beat up the Japanese kid, because he's not answering his radio anymore. So he sends another bad guy down. He's like, hey, go check on Jerry. And the other bad guy's like, yeah, no, we will just go one at a time. That's brilliant, man. That now that he's armed with Jerry's weapons, that we would one at a time go to the place where he is.
All right. So help me understand this. Chad, our main character, is hiding like a 4-year-old playing hide and seek.
Yes.
He's just facing the wall. That's it. That is how he is hiding from this bad guy.
Yeah, he climbs between these two boxes that, like, clearly you can see between them, because that's how we're looking at him.
And he's just like, can't see me. And that works. Yeah.
Apparently.
Yep. He drags Jerry like out of the lighted area like it's Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
But then into a spotlight. That's actually where he's hiding right now. And it works.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like the other bad guy just walked down there, smoked a joint, and came back up. I didn't see shit, man. I don't know where the fuck he is. So yeah, he goes back up and tells the bad guy, like, Jerry disappeared. He's like, did you look in all the places that would hold a human? And he's like, not even remotely. No, not even close.
It's like when you ask them to check in the back of a toy store. It's just like, oh, yeah, no, I'll go check in the back. Stand there. Doop, doop, doo, doop, doo, doop, doo, doo. I'm not even the room where it would be. Doop, doo, doop, doo. Doop, doop, doop. Doot, doot, doot. And I'm walking back out. Yeah, no, I checked really hard. And all of those high guys in the back who are terrible at their jobs, they confirmed that we also don't know where that is. He's back there talking to him. Hey, man, what's going on with you? We're
nice
friends.
Guys.
We were.
He was friends with him. So, yeah. So now.
I just snap at him. Hey. That got their attention.
He did. So now the main bad guy calls the soldier dude on the radio, and he's like, oh, you took one of my guys, I'll take one of yours. And, like, to be fair, like, he would win that bet, right? There's a lot more passengers than bad guys. They'd be like, when you're ahead by enough pieces in chess, you can just start trading.
Right. Oh, and real quick, the bad guy's name here, it's Joseph Pike. I looked it up on IMDb.
Did they ever say it?
Maybe just tell us in the movie. No, I don't think they do.
Yeah. So, all right. So this is where the guy's got to kill someone as revenge for him knocking Jerry out. So he kills the journalist chick.
But then he sends her down in the dumbwaiter as a threat. I wrote in my notes, oh no, don't send me a dead woman's body.
Oh,
Also,
God.
don't send down some mayo packets, whatever you do.
Christ, dude.
I'm just saying that move wouldn't work on me. I'd be like, haha, joke's on you. Really? Open the dumbwaiter that I just sent up. And he's like, oh, fuck, mate. No. No, we're getting off the plane. This is not, all right, this is fucking, no. 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 Yuck. Yuckus.
So,
Gross.
and then the terrorist tells him, I'm going to kill this woman that I apparently know that you're in love with if you don't come up in 3 seconds.
How? It seems like you give him more time.
Does he have to climb up a dumbwaiter?
He's got to take a body out of the dumbwaiter that he was maybe fucking and then send himself back up, like using a pulley. And he does this all in 2 seconds. He's like,
Oh,
I'm
he does
here.
literally
I'm here.
2 seconds. He's like, 1, and he's like, I'm here. And he's like, wow, God.
Jesus.
That was, where were you? Literally behind you. That is the only place I could have been. All right, I guess I'll knock you out with my gun.
Yeah. Oh, I guess if the first half of this movie was any indicator, this is probably going to represent the only chance we get to take a break without cutting in the middle of a fucking conversation, because everything up to this point has been one long scene. So we're going to pause for a moment. But first, let me give Act 3 the hard sell here. Will the bad guys get the thing in time? Who are the bad guys again? And why do they want the thing? Find out that there are no answers to these questions and more when we return for the suddenly a completely different movie conclusion of The Mark.
You know my price.
I do.
And I'll need £500,000 in operating expenses.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't negotiate.
Okay, I mean, it's just like you're stealing a microchip. Why on earth would you
Decoy plane.
What?
Decoy plane. I lure him into a second plane full of actors.
Oh, okay. All right, and then you take the chip?
No, too easy. We fake a crash into an Olympic swimming pool of mint condition bony babies.
What? Why would you?
And that is when we hire Bono to play Gloria.
I think we're gonna go with another firm.
Hedge maze.
And we're back for more of this shit. When we last left our hero, he got knocked the fuck out, which means before we can get back to the action, we have to go through yet another, damn it, we need to make 90 minutes flashback of parts of the movie we've already watched.
Woo!
Yep. So last week on this movie they were 45 minutes long, and our audience is stupid people.
Really counting on that TV playtime. Really counting on it.
Stick some commercials in this, we can almost get 2 hours. Yeah. And the key to this flashback, by the way, again, which is all shit we've already seen in the movie, is he needs to open his heart to Jesus between now and the end of this film.
And he wakes up and the bad guy goes, and look, listen to this terrible line. I have it on good authority. You have that which I am looking for. What a terribly written script. All of this script feels like a very good ESL student's first try. It's like, what do you think? Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty close to English.
That's honestly should be the tagline for this film. The mark, pretty close to English.
Yeah.
So yeah, but here's the thing. These idiots are looking for an implantable fucking chip. And they're like, yeah, we looked in your pockets. Where the fuck is it, man?
We searched your entire exterior body and found not this inserted chip anywhere. Where is it, motherfucker?
Right. To which he responds, it's not in my luggage, it's in me. And I wrote the Eli Bosnick story.
Yes. Also occasionally the Noah Lugeons story, So they're like, well, I guess we're just going to have to chop your arm off. And this is when Eric Roberts stands up and throws some motherfucking science at these people.
No, it's biometric. It's fueled by
biometric.
It's
not what biometric means. Nope.
Which means it's fueled by his blood supply.
Nope.
It's like a little car in his veins, and if it runs out of blood fuel, it will release a neurotoxin into his blood supply, which will kill him.
Why?
And what's amazing is not just that, but like Chad isn't supposed to know, so Chad's like, "Oh, Eric, side effect, bro."
And the bad guy, what's his name? Joe Pike. He gets so frustrated here. He's like, "All right, well, fuck. Wanted to come back here. Bad guy huddle. And for the rest of the movie, it's pretty much a bad guy huddle.
Okay,
for the bad guys.
I have to at least acknowledge what the word biometric means, right? Because that's what he says. He's like, nope, you can't do that. That chip is biometric. The dictionary seems to think that means of or relating to the statistical analysis of biological data. A biometric chip would be something that like measured your blood pressure and shit.
Yeah, related to biometry, which is also a word that's a real thing. You can't just make up.
Capable of showing the movie Biodome starring Pauly Shore.
You got closer, right? Between you and the writer of this movie, you got closer to the definition right there. Jesus. All right. So the main bad guy says, all right, it's time for plan B. We're going to have to kidnap this guy and bring him to the boss with the chip still inside him, which means they're going to need the plane to descend 5,000 feet so they can jump out of it.
It's like they watched all the movies about airplanes and hijacking and wrote down everything they noticed, but they never noticed like acting or plot or snakes or any of the good fucking things.
You just had a whiteboard with "get off my planes" in like a bunch of different colors, a bunch of crossed out stuff. Sets ? Crossed out.
Audio crossed out. And so the pilot, like since they got so pissed off at him that they started shooting people the last time he started moving the plane around, he says, hey, 5,000 feet, there's going to be crazy turbulence. And the bad guy says in another great piece of dialogue, well, then you better start praying. The fuck does that even mean?
I don't know. That's not a response to turbulence.
Not really, no. So then they make everybody on the plane put blankets over their heads.
Yes!
Why? So they can't see what's happening.
I don't fucking know.
But this does answer the old gypsy riddle. What is less intimidating than Eric Roberts having a whisper fight with his fellow passengers under a blanket? The answer, nothing. Nothing in the world is less intimidating than Eric Roberts being like, you grab the guy. No, you grab the guy.
Fuck you, 9B. Put your blanket back on. Stop stealing the elbow rest. You stop.
So Eric Roberts whisper fights with the guy across the aisle from him who is apparently one of the good guys? Or is he just a random passenger?
No idea.
Okay. So, but he whispers to him, hey, we're going to have to take over the plane and kill the bad guys. And the guy's like, yeah, okay.
Yep, he is the first to think of 80 people versus 4 people with guns might work out in our favor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Eric Roberts is like, no, we can't. Ask the other passengers. None of them speak English.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, that's really what he said.
I wanted a bunch of them to be like, we can all hear you in your stupid whisper fight. That's nothing. And that's weirdly racist. We're on the way to Germany. Pretty sure some of us speak English, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, so we're on Earth. It's a pretty good chance. We're on an airplane. Where all people can afford to be on an airplane. There's a pretty good chance there's some English speakers, since that's the language they're using for the announcements. Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay. So now it's time for a little good guy versus bad guy dialogue. And I just wrote in my notes as this scene started, like, wow, with a masterful wordsmith like they've got here, I can hardly fucking wait.
Oh, and it's so literally there's one, he's like, you must feel like a big man. He just points the gun at him. He's like, all right, never mind. Fine.
And by the way, Joe Pike, the bad guy, he holds the gun at a 45. So not all the way turned like gangster style.
Yeah.
And is that like a mixed race thing, you think?
Yep.
You think he's halvesies?
Well, it must be.
We need Sean King to hold a gun.
So now we get Eric Roberts and his buddy fight one of the hijackers to death.
But they solid snake fight him. They're like, oh, what's over there? Boink, zoink. And then they cover him up with, they might as well put like sunglasses on him and a Hawaiian shirt. Like, he's sleeping. All right.
Puts on the bad guy hat. No, I'm one of you guys. Remember me from the place? Also, I want to point out, at this point, we get a pan and there's a David A.R. White movie on the plane.
Yep.
It's the best.
The least realistic part of the movie so far.
They kept the movie on.
Royal Thai Airlines is playing a David Enwright movie.
Yeah, exactly.
On the way to Berlin from Bangkok. Yep.
So, all right. So now the other bad guys are wanting to figure out what happened to the guy who Eric Robertson and the random character that was next to him beat up. And I'm curious what happened to him, too. We never see. Is he just laying there in the aisle
They ate
now?
him. They swallowed him. No bad guy here.
Jesus. So, yeah. So they send another bad guy back. And Eric Roberts is like, oh, I'm all covered in blood. I can't distract this guy. You have to do it, guy next to me. So he distracts him with the old I've got a pee trick.
Right. And he's just like, I got to take a Mr. Poopers. I'm sorry, what? I gotta drop some kids off in the pool. Can you actually just sit back down?
Well, I love to because the main bad guy comes back and he's like, "What's his problem?" And he's like, "He's got to take a wee, man." And the actor tries his damnedest to say, "Oh, he has to go to the bathroom" with an evil voice, but you can't say those words and sound evil. It was not for a lack of trying, though. Kudos to the actor.
Gotta drain the lizard, eh? I'll drain your This is so fucking stupid. I was in the Expendables. How did I end up in this movie?
Do we need banter now? Can we? All right. I'm going.
No, we need a fight scene now, God damn it. And what we really need is a fight scene that is randomly joined by a sweaty fat man.
Surprise, fat guy! Okay.
Yep.
It needs to be emphasized how beautiful this is. So the passengers, he shoots the guy who wanted to go to the bathroom, and the passengers are all like, riot, and they all jump up. And surprise fat guy floats out of nowhere. Like, he might as well descend from the ceiling on wires and literally does a, like, bring it on, motherfucker, to the bad guy and kicks the ever-loving shit out of him. He's not just, like, a helpful guy. He knows Kung Fu. He's like, whoa!
Yes!
It's like, now that I've finished my blue potato chips, I guess it's time to kick some ass.
And he's already sweating.
Oh my
just
God.
Profusely
like
at this
he's
point
trying
through
to
his
catch
shirt.
a train.
Like me and Andrew after speed eating ribs in a hot van in North Carolina. I looked over at Andrew at one point. We were like, just both sweating violently. Like poor kids were running next to us during the summer. It was.
And Heath was making friends of him. He was like, hey, what's your deal, man? You want to hang out? Come with us.
So
you're allowed to talk to me. Jumping, huh? That sounds fun. I love jumping.
So yeah, the fat guy who very clearly was the highest backer on Kickstarter or something, you know, or like, you know what this was? I thought like this is the target audience, right? The target audience for this movie is some enormously overweight guy who says things like, man, if one of them Muslims ever tried to take over a plane I was on, I'd kick their ass, even though they've never been on a plane. Right?
Oh, my God. That's what this is.
Yeah. He's the analog of the audience in the movie suddenly.
You know that someone gave him like a hoist yourself up on your rascal ovation when he got up and just like, oh, man, I can't do no standing, but if I had prayed hard enough, I'd be on my feet for you right now, brother. Yeah, get her done. Get her done. If this guy had gotten shot and his last words had been get her done, this would be the greatest movie of all time.
It's awful close. All right, so the main character kills one of the other bad guys. The fat guy subdues bad guy Prime, but the guy that the main character kills sets off a bomb before he dies that has 10 seconds on it. Why did he have that?
Why the display? Why does it always have to have a display? Right. Just to have it go off. You're a bad guy. You want to blow up now.
So the Chad, the main character, tosses the bomb into a garbage chute, which means journalist lady is everywhere now, and the plane starts to rapidly lose altitude. Oh no, what's going to happen, you may ask? Unless you've watched a lot of Christian movies, you will never get that right.
Yeah, because you're wrong if you didn't guess all the Christians on the plane will disappear.
It's the goddamn rapture.
Rapture time.
The screenwriter was like, oh, right, Christian movie. And then all the Christians disappear. Lunch break.
But they don't like tell you right away. Like if I hadn't seen 10 of these terrible movies, this whole scene is nonsense.
Right.
They're just like walking through and seeing clothes in seats. And they should be folded, by the way. If we're going to be accurate, all the clothes should be folded.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's how I've seen it done. But also, like, apparently part of the rapture is that the exploding plane stops flying erratically too. Yeah. Right? Like the explosion that just went off on the airplane they're on suddenly doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, while he was there, you could say that Jesus took the wheel.
I guess.
The stick.
Now, we should also point out that the pilot, who we've seen throughout the movie, like hiding in the cockpit all by himself, we've established that he's a Christian. So they don't know that yet because they haven't been able to get into the cockpit yet, but he also would have been raptured.
Mm-hmm. So now, just to be clear, this movie is about them trying to get into the cockpit.
Yes. Yeah. The bad guys up to this point will never do anything else.
This is they're in the timeout now.
Yes. The timeout begins now and ends in the very last scene of the movie.
So this movie is now about our main characters trying to get inside the locked cockpit. Just for those following along.
For the time being. Yes.
Yeah. For a second.
So, yeah. So now that they've gotten the bad guys all subdued, main character runs into Eric Roberts and he's like, hey, you injected me with a neurotoxin, and punches him on the face. Eric Roberts spends the rest of the scene holding the other side of his face.
Yes.
Yes.
Just once, I would like someone in a movie to get punched and react like a human who's been punched. Just like, oh,
You're
crying. No, get away. No, I don't want to get you back. I'm telling Mom. I'm not going to get you back.
So, yeah, so they discuss, like, what was this chip? And he's like, it has the power to save the world. It's a symbol of freedom. We can't really go into details. Platitudes is really all I've got to describe it.
And then we go back to the cabin for a little bit, and everybody's freaking out about the missing people.
Yeah.
And they're looking why are they looking like they're going to find missing family members in the overhead compartment,
right?
And like under the seat, they're like checking for people.
Again, something we've seen in every one of these fucking movies. When your loved one disappears while you're looking at them and their clothes are still there, you start going, I wonder where they went. Perhaps it's under the chair.
They're like patting their pockets. No, What?
Cell phone, keys, no wife.
And also, okay, this will be the first of about 43 times for the rest of this movie where they basically say, yes, we know we're ripping off Left Behind. Right? Because people keep saying stuff like, there's nothing but piles of clothes left behind.
We are the only ones that are remaining now. Remaining now. People say that all
and
the
of course,
time.
this is where the good guy finds a cross, like a cross necklace on one of the piles of clothes. And he's like, oh no, all the people who had disappeared were Christians. It's time for me to have another goddamn flashback.
Yeah, and this is my favorite part of the movie. It's amazing,
yeah.
So he flashes back to the Christian brother again, and the brother's like talking to him about, theology or whatever. He's like, well, when the time comes, God will reveal his plan to you. Blam! And he gets hit by a car. Mm-hmm. I almost vomited. I was laughing so hard. I had to take a walk in the middle of the night to calm down.
There was a spot in this movie that was like that for me. We haven't gotten to it yet. But yes, the flashback, apparently the flashback he's been having about having dinner with his brother, that was the night his brother died by getting hit by a car.
That's how God revealed his plan to him.
And the way they revealed this to us was the most comic way possible, right?
Yeah. Just like, bro, don't worry. God will figure it out. Meow. I'm never gonna die. Meow.
It's amazing. So,
like a little 12-year-old girl just comes out and shoots him in the face.
You know what this is for. So just when nobody can figure out what the fuck is going on with Act 3, the minister speaks up.
Right. And he's like, you remember me from earlier in the movie? Just want to say this very natural line. Good works are not enough. Okay, bye-bye.
I preached it for years, but I never fully accepted Jesus as my Lord and Savior. Yes. Again, and all of these movies have to emphasize this, right? Being a good person doesn't count. It is only about being a Christian. Not even those two things in conjunction. Yeah.
This is a very anti-Catholic stance they felt like they had to take here
Right.
to distinguish. Fucking weird.
2012 years later, they're like, fuck the Pope.
So I love, okay, and Eric Roberts here kind of steps in as everybody's arguing about, are you sure it was the Christian apocalypse? Because we're mostly Muslim on this plane. So Eric Roberts steps in and he's like, hey, guys, look, we need to land this plane. Let's not bicker about who raptured who until we're on the fucking ground. So Soldier Boy and Eric Roberts decide to go discuss how they're going to get into the cockpit.
And Fat Guy is just a part of the movie now. Like,
Yes.
he's part of the planning committee. He's like, I want to blow the door. And Fat Guy's like, what if we eat the door?
Well, it's so good.
Yes.
Fat guy's like, I got an idea. And, well, in my experience here, nobody listens and everyone's like, take a shower. But this guy pops up. He's got a big idea and they just literally ignore him
Yes.
entirely. It's like, I got a better suggestion. Pause. 2, 3, 4. And then Dow's like, there might be another way, though.
And then they're like, oh, you're much thinner than him. What
And he
did
does
you
not
have in mind?
He does not say another word.
No, like they have this whole thing where he stands up and he's like, I've got an idea. Everyone ignores him. We never find out what that idea was. We never return to it. It's not like once this fails, he's going to go, it's time to go with my idea, guys, which is what I expected. No, we will never acknowledge this again.
Nope. He just
All right.
sits back in his chair, turns to his seat. Mate, my idea, by the way, in case you were wondering. Oh, you're asleep. All right, well.
So yeah, now the plan that the stewardess has, there's a secret hatch to get into the door that you have to climb through the secret tunnels and you have to turn that bookcase around that Heath was talking about earlier or whatever with the candlestick. But she's going to guide him through with a little book she has that explains it.
It's so stupid.
Why wouldn't she just go down with the little book?
He's like, are you guiding with him? Just come down here or give me the map. Why wouldn't you just give me the
Right,
map?
yeah, one or the other.
I like using
No,
the walkie-talkie. All right.
It's all recorded. It's all covered in reporter down there. I don't want to. Nice skirt, messy.
And so she's on the walkie-talkie with him and she's going, okay, so there should be like a giant hole in the airplane. Feel around with your hands for a gaping hole in the airplane that we're flying in at 500 miles an hour. Do you notice anything slight feel for that? No?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but instead he comes across the secret bulkhead that would get him in, except it's been jammed shut by the explosion.
Yeah. To which he's like, it's jammed shut. To which Fat Guy's like, I will tear the steel apart with my bare hands.
Yep.
I feel like what happened with Fat Guy is he was just an extra, and like that morning he lost his wife. And everyone's like, you should go home. And he's like, no, I can't. But then nobody could say no to him for the rest of the day. They just felt really bad. And they're like, we're going to have this in the movie now, guys.
Man, we made him buy 2 seats. Feel bad about that.
So Fat Guy comes to the rescue. And this is my favorite moment in the history of anything ever. Okay, so they're trying to pry this bulkhead open. And the main character can't quite get it. So Fat Guy's going to give it a try. The sound effect they're going for here is prying. But what I heard was farting. So what happened for me in this moment is the Fat Guy comes down into this very crammed compartment with 3 other guys. And he says, here, let me give it a try. Splays himself way out and farts for a solid, like one squeaky long fart that lasts for 18 seconds. Yes, that's exactly the sound.
Dude, did you just shit yourself? Can you tell? God Awful Movies, man. Check it out. Great podcast.
Just listen to God Awful Movies. He told me to.
I thought this guy was going to put the door in his mouth and pull out just a chicken bone.
He's so large. It's great. He's arm angle fat. He's got like so much man boob and like man side boob that his arms hang naturally at a crazy 45. It's the best.
So yeah, they're prying with all their heart. It's not quite getting it. She's listening on the radio, and since it sounds like a big gay orgy going down, she's like, what's going on down there? Eric Roberts, meanwhile, is dying to blow up the plane he's in.
Oh, God. Eric Roberts is that guy who instantly wants to get in a fight with that other table at Denny's. Like, you're all just sitting and he's like, look at that. Let's fuck those. All right, can you let it go? Can we, like, see how the night goes a little, Eric Roberts, before we use a bomb?
Yeah, I mean, every time anybody says anything, he's just like, I say we blow up the door with his 4 sticks of C4 over here. So, but they can't pry it open, damn it. So now it's time to have the, whatever, the fat guy wisdom moment in the movie.
Yep. And I just want to be clear. The action climax right now of this movie is the mechanical advantage of a crowbar working or not.
Yes.
Just like Seth Andrews doing the trailer, like in a world where a lever and a fulcrum mean everything. Torque equals force times lever arm. So stupid.
Oh my God. So the fat guy opens this scene by turning to the main character and saying, "You've had a rough day, partner." I'm like, who on this plane is not having a rough day? It seems kind of petty to compare it, but I feel like the guy who got shot in the leg and his fiance was murdered kind of wins.
One teenage girl listening to her book on tape. Best flight ever.
So fat guy is convinced that it was the rapture. The minister's also down there. We already know how he feels. This is yet another opportunity for them to say, it was the rest of us that were left behind again.
Thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the minister literally says this. He goes, look, this is impossible. And it must have been God, because only God can do the impossible. I want Chris Angel to rise out of the floor. Oh, yeah. I'm going to pierce my nipples on this airplane door. Chris, this is not what we... Look at him. Look at him. I'm a weird douche from Jersey.
Yeah.
Look at me, every guy from Jersey, somehow now a magician. Yeah. 1990s called. They want the state of New Jersey back. Yeah.
So, and this is also, by the way, the moment when Soldier Boy gets his faith back.
Right.
And because of that, he's got an idea. They can do it if they all work together.
So, yeah, they decide to use faith now. That's the new plan.
Uh-huh.
So he radios back to Dow, the stewardess lady. He's like, okay, we're going in. And she announces to everybody, all excited. She's like, they can do it now. Like, what?
They haven't done anything.
They've decided to use faith. We're all good.
Yeah.
What? Seth comes back on. Correction. Torque equals force times lever arm plus faith.
And their faith, by the way, is just a battering ram it with Heath's suitcase. That's what happens to your bag, by the way. If we figure smashing Heath's suitcase against the door. Hope this guy doesn't keep his microphones in here. Heath's bag was destroyed at the airport, and we found it very amusing because it was brand new.
They fucked up the zipper too.
They tried to fix it by like zipping one tiny corner of it, and they were like, "Great, throw it on the thing."
Yes. Such bullshit. I actually think I fixed it with some pliers. I actually smashed the zipper back into like approximately.
Surprised you didn't climb on the treadmill, go make friends with them. Just be like, "Hey, who messed with my bag? Let's talk this out, fellas." Brian, Alan, come on. You remember that picnic basket I brought back earlier?
So they ram the door open. So now it's time for main character guy to crawl down another long tunnel, because, there are several in airplanes. And she's talking him through it again. At this point, and this is so amazingly stewardess, I don't think they did this on purpose, but coming from the profession of people that explain to you how belt buckles work for a living, I love her description of how to turn a door handle at this point, right? You twist the handle that you'll see it's red. And when it's all the way twisted, you'll just push up. That's literally what like I said, if they'd done that on purpose, it would have been brilliant comedy, but they didn't. But unfortunately, the hatch won't budge for reasons that we will never explain.
Right. But he's going to spray it with the liquid. Hear the words that I'm saying as a full-grown adult.
Please.
He's going to detach the liquid nitrogen that keeps the computer on the airplane cool and spray it at the hatch, which will make it easier to open.
What? And also, kind of scared by this. They can't keep the navigation computers on an airplane cool enough without liquid nitrogen?
They're at 30,000 feet.
Maybe a fan?
Maybe just, it's really fucking cold.
Let some air in from 30,000 feet somewhere?
Exactly. Yeah, also, I love to, at this point, while he's trying to figure out what to do, he looks over and he sees the computer that was smooshed into the other computer, and he goes, I think I found a radio jamming system. How the fuck would you know that?
Right. Or a Nintendo DS that fell. Who the fuck knows?
It's one of those two things, though. And also, so he's like, I think I'm going to use this liquid nitrogen to punch through the door because that's how doors work. And the co-pilot is like, dude, that's too dumb even for this movie. You can't just unplug shit from underneath an airplane while it's flying.
And yeah, can you freeze a door open? Is that a thing you can do?
Yes.
What he does, by the way, the pilot is like, whatever you do, don't unplug the liquid nitrogen. He unplugs the liquid nitrogen, which makes the plane start to sink.
Why?
Right? Because the airplane is a balloon full of liquid nitrogen, apparently. And he's letting it all out. And he sprays it in the door, and then he just plugs it back in. Literally, he's just like, all right, done with that. And then the plane goes level. The plane goes back up. Now that the liquid nitrogen is circulating.
What the fuck? Like, so when the computers get hot, they nosedive the plane. The computers are programmed to do that. And then when they get cool again, they flatten it out. That's the software?
I guess. Holy
Jesus.
shit. Yeah, right. And because you know how it is. I wonder what happens when I disconnect. This method always works when you're on a fucking airplane. So he reconnects the cooling system, and now the door is cold enough for him to open. He doesn't it's not like he's going to punch through it, right? It's not like it's going to get so brittle and frozen that he's just going to punch his way through it. It's just now super cold so he can open it.
He just made it smaller by the contraction of the... Really?
Who knows? So this is where he drops his walkie-talkie, and Dow, the flight attendant, starts to deliver a monologue about how much she likes him. Like, he's like, oh, I just want you to know, Chad, I always really like you, and I think you're super cool, and I love your hair, and I don't think your forehead's too big, and what those people said wasn't nice on that podcast, so... And Eric Roberts, who is now decided, well, he's dead, is gonna blow up the door, right?
Yes.
He's gonna blow up the door. This is literally what he says. He says, all right, I'll set it for 2 minutes. In 3, 2,
yes!
And then he opens the door. He's like, no, don't set the timer for 2 minutes. I'll set the timer for 2 minutes in 3, 2, no.
120, 119. No, they don't even get there. They don't even get to that.
No, and that's the other thing, is it's supposed to be suspenseful with him counting down the 3, 2, 1, but yeah, you'd still have 2 fucking minutes. Jesus, people. Which, of course, you could tell because of the giant digital displays that they have on all bombs. Yeah, so the main character has managed to get into the frozen cockpit. They have the radio now. So now all the characters that we know can go into the cockpit together and listen to Rapture, post-Rapture radio.
Yep.
That's not a podcast, by the way. That's what's going on. And also, at this point, he tells everybody, oh, by the way, while I was down there, freezing this door open, I found a bomb that will explode if the plane goes below 3,000 feet.
So it's speed, but with height. It's height. It's height. It's a new movie now.
That's the movie, yes.
The movie is now about a plane that cannot go below a certain height. But that's okay, because it will instantly be dismissed. The co-pilot's just like, oh yeah, just throw it the fuck out of the plane.
And they're like, yeah, that's a great idea, actually. Why didn't we think of that? So, yeah. So they have to throw it out of the back door that opens in the plane. But how will they get it past all the passengers without them freaking out?
That's the new drama, is like rolling a very small bomb device inside the drink cart. So nobody people would not help with getting rid of the bomb here. They'd freak out and block them.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You'd think you could go like, okay, guys, bad news. There's a bomb on the plane. Good news. We're about to throw it out of the plane. We have several minutes to do that.
I wanted her so badly to be walking through the aisle just like, cookies, drinks? Oh, do you have any bombs left? Ooh, no, we don't. I could totally see you have a bomb left. Yeah. No, we're not allowed to give those out. It's for the next flight. God, this is so... getting more bombs when you're in between flights. I need the bomb. I'll pay.
Also, this is where like the movie seems to remember, at least for a brief second, that the main bad guy is still alive. He's not tied up or anything.
He's just sitting there sulking.
Yeah,
like literally Indian style. All mad.
My plot didn't go the way I wanted it to, and now the movie's been about 4 different things that weren't about me.
It's amazing.
That shot of him.
And also, so as the main character's wandering through, right, he's about to throw the plane out. The minister stops him and says, hey, just in case you hadn't figured this out yet from the cover art and everything, that chip inside you is the mark of the beast.
And he stands up and goes, I know this sounds crazy, and I want him to be like, but I have a lot of plastic silverware in my butt right now. A lot. There is no plastic silverware anywhere on this plane but inside me. All right. Have a good time throwing that bomb out the plane.
Okay. So Eric Roberts, Soldier Boy, and the stewardess lady are about to throw the bomb. And I love, too, Eric Roberts' part of this seems to be snarky.
Yep.
Right? Like, that's the function that he serves here, is just to, like, throw out a little shade as they're tossing the bomb out.
Right. They toss the bomb out and he's like, you guys make a good team. And he's like, all right, thank you. Why
Seems
are you
like
here?
You could have helped too.
And now the plot of the movie changes again.
Yep, because that was too easy.
Right. So Chad's like, all right, I'm going to jump out of the plane now because I don't want you to bring this microchip to Germany. And Eric Roberts is like, I'm a bad guy and I'm on the same side as the guys who have been killing us throughout the movie.
But what? Yeah,
this is a revelation?
Yeah, so he also has a gun, apparently, and he threatens to kill the girl if she doesn't throw all the parachutes out of the plane right now. But just then, the plane turns. And as we learned earlier, good guys get a tactical advantage over bad guys with guns when planes turn. So now it's time to fight.
Right.
Yep.
And you get the exact kind of fight scene you expect when you can't afford a stuntman for your 66-year-old bad guy.
Yeah. And you know what's an exciting weapon for a fight scene here?
What's that?
Laptop bag, I would say. Would be a good one. So they use
Nobody
that.
pushes a laptop bag into the chest of Eric Roberts. Roll, punch, roll, punch.
They might as well do the stabbing thing with the laptop bag for a second. Look at these zipper compartments. Look at them.
So after about 110 seconds of their best impersonation of me and Heath doing an impersonation of a sex scene, she grabs the gun.
Yeah, because she's just still there. No one's accounted for her.
And she's like, everybody resolve the plot. Please.
Yeah, and then he takes the gun and he's about to shoot Eric Roberts, but he just can't bring himself to do it. So he knocks him unconscious with the gun. But then he wakes up pretty much immediately afterwards to warn them that his guys are going to be waiting for him at the airport no matter what.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, if you jump out of this plane, she's going to jail. He's like assisting a fugitive, attacking a government agent. And it's like, are you part of the government? I thought you were Avante. No, I'm a government. It's... Don't jump out of the plane.
Which government? Which government? We're in in Germany. Or actually, no, the plane turned back to Thailand too. That's the other thing too. He's like, my guys are waiting for you at the airport. And they're like, really? Because they turned the plane around. It's not landing where your guys expected it to.
Yeah,
and we don't have a
at both
radio to
airports.
tell them about it.
But if the computer gets hot, then it goes to America, maybe? I don't know. It's a weird computer system.
So now because they only have one parachute, now the two of them have to parachute out together, him and the stewardess.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric Roberts is like, I will find you in the sequel, motherfucker. And then they jump out of the plane.
But they share one parachute, and he just like with his arms grabs her and holds her through the parachute release. Like, could you do that?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure that would be easy to hold a 140-pound woman as you were parachuting. Yeah, no, I'm sure that would be no problem. The weight doesn't really matter for parachutes, as it turns out. Yeah.
Okay.
So now, and also, by the way, the main bad guy who was sitting Indian style all mopey earlier comes down to where Eric Roberts is at this point, and he's like, you lost him, didn't you? As if to say that the two of these guys have been in on it together the whole time. Right?
Yep.
So his plan was to kill the other guys that were trying to do. Why did they if Eric Roberts already had him and they wanted him, why would they have to do anything?
That's what the 500,000 euros was for.
That's why he got so confused by the biometric thing, and he started saying, dude, I thought you were on my team. That made sense, though.
What's
now
going
my
on?
plot
Tag back.
So, all right.
fucked up our whole plan.
Now we get one more scene with the antichrist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is where the head of the world calls him and asks if he'd like to be the head of the world, basically.
Right. Would you like to be the Antichrist? Ooh, can I have a weekend to think about it? Yeah, no, absolutely. Take the week. Come check out the office. It's nice.
Yeah.
And the bad guy literally looks, this is how little this movie makes sense, because the movie was like, oh shit, that dragon thing from the beginning. So the bad guy looks into the middle distance and he's like, the dragon stood on the shore of the sea. Yep. just like today. I wanted one of the TVs to show a dragon at the beach, just like, oh, water's cold. Oh, no.
But meanwhile, we cut back to Chad and Dow, who are suspended in front of a green screen with a fan on. I mean, parachuting down into Thailand. And she asks at this point, this is so fucking bizarre to me. She turns to him and she goes, why didn't you kill Eric Roberts with that gun? And his answer isn't, because I'm not a fucking monster, you evil bitch. Why would you wonder about that?
I want her to do that for the entire sequel. Just like, why didn't you kill that woman who served us at that Starbucks? All right, I should have gotten to know you better before I jumped out of a plane with you. This is weird.
Yeah, but his answer instead is, because only Christians don't kill people, and I'm Christian now.
Credits.
All right, so of the many disappointing aspects of this movie is that despite its poster and the fucking title and the credits, UPC symbols never came up. That's bullshit. I was ready for a good conspiracy theory, and I got nothing. But clearly, the Christian marketeers have recognized the amazing levels of crossover between conspiracy theorists and people who watch their dumbass movies. So, to close up the review tonight, I thought I'd ask you this. What conspiracy theory would you most like to see undergirding a Christian movie?
Oh, all right, I'm going to say it's called Top Spin and Bottom Spin, the Comet Ping Pong story.
Oh,
Jesus.
I like it. Maybe a little false flag that got some presidential attention. Sandy hooked on phonics. The truth is out there.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
They didn't actually kill those kids. It was just a fire drill. And then it was actually a secret government training facility that they built an elementary school. I don't want to get into it here.
And well,
They're all
that
fine.
does it for our review of the Mark. One sentence too late. That's not going to do it for the episode just yet, because we still need to get y'all fired up for next week. So, Eli, tell us what's on deck.
Noah's on vacation. Heath and Eli. Woo! Rating races. Barrel.
Yeah, no, I won't be here to keep anything from being said. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen? But what movie will you guys be breaking down?
The Mark II Redemption. We might mention it once or twice. No guarantees.
Mostly fart noises.
It's a lot of enemies lists are going to get read out loud.
We're going to workshop a lot of hats off to Botswana. We're going to workshop the shit out of that. Get ready.
And
All
some
right.
race stuff. Some race. If you don't like the race stuff, next week,
We are going to
out.
rank the shit out of some races.
Absolutely.
So,
Chinese
with that
people.
6-minute episode to look forward to.
Are we going to go one with? All right. No, we'll get to it next week. We'll get to it next week.
Absolutely.
You think they're the best? All right. Don't want to spoil it. Don't wanna spoil
So
it.
with that ultimately 9-minute fully edited episode to look forward to, we're going to bring episode 101 to a merciful close. Once again, a huge thanks to all the Patreon donors that help make the show go. If you'd like to count yourself among their ranks, you can make a per episode donation at patreon.com/godawful and thereby earn early access to an ad-free version of every episode. And you can also help us a ton by leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes and by sharing the show on all your various social media platforms. And if you enjoyed this show, be sure to check out our sibling shows, The Scathing Atheist, The Skeptocrat, and Citation Needed, available on iTunes and wherever else podcasts live. If you have questions, comments, or cinematic suggestions, you can email godawfulmovies@gmail.com. Legal services for this podcast are provided by the law offices of P. Andrew Torres. Our theme song was written and performed by Ryan Slotnick of Evil Giraffes on Mars. All other music was written and performed by our audio engineer, Morgan Clark, and was used with permission. Thanks again for giving us a chunk of your life this week. For Heath Enwright and Eli Bosnick, I'm Noah Lugeons, promising to work hard to earn another chunk next week. Until then, we'll leave you with the Breakfast Club close.
Main bad guy finally remembered his Adderall and started doing evil stuff again.
Good for him. Surprise fat guy died of a heart attack seconds after the crowbar scene.
Next week's episode had 4 minutes of usable content.
Ambitious.
The marketing on the racist eyeball monster alone is worth it. Yep.
The preceding podcast was a production of Puzzle and a Thunderstorm LLC, copyright 2017, all rights reserved.